Welcome back everyone to Data Science for Everyone. Today we're going to be looking at utilizing event-based programming with JavaScript. Let's get started. Now let's go on to our final couple topics for today. And that will be utilizing mouse movements, and that will also be utilizing key events. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is utilize mouse movements. So let's go over to our script and we'll go down a little bit more and we'll call this section mouse movement events. So the DOM produces events when the mouse moves. Now with this event named mousemove, okay, these mouse move events are triggered on an element while the mouse moves over that element. So we can listen for those with an addEventListener method, and then we can do something with it when we maybe hear the mouse click, just as we did with the mouse click, okay? But this is just going to be when it hovers over it. So let's do document.querySelector, and this is just going to be HTML. We're grabbing the whole thing, okay? .addEventListener, and this is going to be on a mouse move, okay? And we are gonna listen for some event, and we're going to just console log out our the X and Y coordinates of the mouse, okay? So we'll do I'll just call it X, and we'll do event dot client X, and then we'll do a nice space here, Y, and we'll do event dot client, client Y. And so now, if we go back over, we refresh, and as soon as I get on the HTML, notice, whoa, it's moving fast, isn't it? And it's giving us our X and Y coordinates. Okay, and this can be very useful when maybe you want to add in maybe you're making an art project with Visual Studio and you want the text to change or something to follow it. You can also make games with this design, okay? You can also track people's mouse movements, all right? So whether they're hovering over wanting to purchase an element for a long time, or how they interact with your website is another great way to do this. Now, it's very fun to kind of watch this, all right? And it's standard convention also is to help us follow with computer graphics and how things are moving. Now, the second thing is that there are sometimes gaps on locations, okay? That the mouse moves kind of appear to jump over something when we're moving things. Now, this can be seen on a mouse over event in action if we actually add in something specific, okay? So let's go back over here. Let's go to our HTML, and inside, let's put it right here. Okay, and let's make a div tag in here, and let's give it the ID is equal to, space ID is box. We're gonna make a square here. And if we go over to, should be able to go over to our CSS, and we want that we're going to access the div ID, so we need hashtag box, and we're going to do position is going to be fixed, left is going to be at 0 pixels, right, or let's do top is 0 pixels. We want width here to be 10 pixels. Actually, let's make it 20 pixels and make it a little bit bigger. And then our height here will also be 20 pixels. And our background color here is going to be, let's do black so that everyone can see it really well. All right, so now let's go on and let's actually go on and refresh the page real quick, just so that you guys can kind of see what's going on. You can refresh it and notice, all right, it's right here, right? Okay, it's right here. You can see if I go, let me just see if I can go all the way to that corner. All right, you can see here that that far is now 20 by 20. And it started at, oh, it's hard to get right in that corner, but it'll be very close to 0, 0. Yep, 0, 0. All right, so now it's time to write up an event handler for something that happens inside that box. Okay, so let's go to our script. And let's do let box is equal to our document. We want to query select our box. And then we will add in an event listener. And we want to do mouse move. We'll create up an event here and we'll do box dot style dot left is equal to event dot client x plus px. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing here, box dot style dot top is equal to event dot client, and here we want y plus px. Okay, so what we're doing here is we are adding in, let's talk about this a little bit. We'll start with right here. Okay, so this first addition here is to find the box using the document.query selector and save a reference to the element in the variable box. So the next thing we want to do is modify the mouse over handler, okay, event listener, and we want to actually move the box around that we're modifying it, and we're going to do it using its style property, which is an object in the CSS, okay, that's applied to the element. Now, for example, if we set the value of box.style.left as the same effect as updating the value of left in the CSS file, okay, in our in our handler, we set both the left and top values using the current position of the mouse. So let's go on and actually give this a try. So let's refresh and notice now this box moves around with us the whole time. Okay, and I can get it to kind of lag out a little bit here and it looks like it's following you around, but it's technically stays wherever we are. All right. So now let's go on to utilizing some keyboard events. Okay. So keyboard events are triggered when keys are pressed down on the keyboard. Now we can focus on one keyboard event called keydown, and this is triggered by when a key is pressed, well, down. Now we can add a handler to our web page that simply logs keydown events to the console as they happen. So let's go on and do that. Document.querySelector, and here we're just going to grab HTML.addEventListener, and we want to listen for keydown. Okay. Event, and we want to log here our event. Okay, and let's actually just go right on over and let's clear this and let's just give it a try. Okay. Oh, so notice nothing is actually working at the moment. So why is this happening? Let's actually take a look and see. Okay, did we miss something? Is something not listening? Is something overriding something? All right, so for now, I'm going to go on and highlight all of this, and I'm going to comment it out for now, just so that the only thing working right now is our document, our query selector, all right, grabbing our HTML, and we're going to be listening for our key down. All right, so we're adding an event to the HTML element, and we're wanting to apply it. So now we should, all right, let's refresh. Let's clear everything. And let's see if, there it is. Okay. So if you notice, let me open this up. All right, and let me refresh again, and we'll do something like, oh no, the bees. Okay, if you notice, everything that I touched here created up this keyboard event. All right, so what happened here? Let's actually click this little arrow and see what happened. It actually gives us this event, which actually has a ton of information in it. All right, and again, it looks like just like an object, right? So it holds this is trusted true, alt key, false, bubbles, true, cancel. I mean, it has all this information in it. We can scroll down. Again, we won't go through all of it today. But what we could do is potentially, in order to move the box around, we could create new variables to keep track of its X and Y positions. All right, and then we could update those with key presses if we want to. Okay, so let's actually give that a try. So let's go over here, because again, we want to be able to do this. Okay, we want to be able to grab it. So let's actually let me show you at least one thing. So we have this, it's under K here for key, right? And it says this is O. Okay, so if we go to one of the other ones, we can look H, N, O, space bar. Now if I go and I hit over the, notice here, now I hit arrow right, arrow left, arrow down, arrow up. Okay, or if those of you that play video games, W, A, D, S. Okay, so you can move those a lot of ways, and also they have a code to them. So key S, key D. All right, there's also shift S. So notice here, there's shift, and then S becomes capitalized. Okay, so there can be some interactivity going on there as well. So what we will do though is we'll use the typical WASD for movement. All right, and so I want to go on and undo these two. And we can say here, and actually we'll comment this one out. We want to actually add in a let current X is equal to 0, let current Y equal to 0. Now, instead of it actually spitting it out, okay, we're going to create up an if. So if event.key is equal to W, we want to say something like current y minus equal 5. Okay, now again, the reason for this minus equal 5 when we hit the W key, that's to be up, okay, is because the number value goes up as you go down the screen. So if you want the y-axis to go up, you use the minus key. All right, so then we can use the else. The else if, whoops, and I actually don't want this, because we're going to do another else if here in a second. And this condition will be event dot key is equal to a, and we want this one to be current y plus equal to 5. And now we'll do the same things for else if. We want event dot key is equivalent to s, and that is current x plus equal to 5. Whoops. And actually I messed up here. We did a, right? A is supposed to be going left, so it is minus, and x is here. And then this is y plus 5, okay? Because that's the direction we want to go. So we can do something like this, just to give you a note here. W is up. For those of you that don't know, again, some people don't play computer games. A is left. S is down. Else if, and we have event dot key is equivalent to D, and here that is current x plus equals 5. Oops, and we need to go on and clean those up, and again, this would be D is right. Now, we have that, but the next thing we need to do is actually add this into the style. Remember, it's inside of the CSS that we actually move the box around. So we can do box.style.left is equal to our current x plus px, and then, whoops, and I don't know why I did computed style here. It's just style. And then box.style.top is equal to current y plus px. And so now, if we go over here, we should be able to refresh, and we should be able to use the WASD keys to move it around. And again, if you wanted to move it faster, you could change these numbers, these values, to something like 10, okay? And they'd look like it was moving faster on the screen if you wanted it slower. And you can do all kinds of things with that. So, again, I hope you guys can try that later on in the future. But if you like this and you want more of this type of content, please comment, subscribe, and hit the like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.